What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Heroes of the Storm Power Hour. We're back again. It's another week bringing you some serious entertainment is what it's all about. I am your host, Twiz. It is so good to see you, and I'm going to make just a few quick introductions because I am not alone on the show, and that's one of the best parts of doing this show is having four very lively co-hosts. First and foremost, we have the spit gum and glue of BlizzPro.com, the recent Hearthstone legendary player, Mr. Eldorian. Welcome back to the show, sir.
Hey, Twiz, how's it going?
Good, brother. Good. No stale jokes this week, or?
No stale jokes. I'm just happy that the Cardinals are out of the postseason.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
That makes three of us on this panel that are happy about that.
That's right. We are definitely a Cubs. I don't know what you call it. Cubs fan show thinging. I rocked the crap out of that one, didn't I? So, anyways, let's move right along. Let's move this train wreck of an intro right along. Coming back again, another return. He did so well that we brought him back again for another week. Mainly because Nineball couldn't make it, but that's beside the point. Please help us welcome back to the show the very awesome Zexorus. Hello, welcome back to the show, buddy.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I was hoping you would ask me how I was doing.
Were you? I always ask you how you're doing.
Hey, put your mic a little closer to your mouth, brother. There you go.
We good?
There you go.
Yeah.
I like your
Please
style.
follow Zex at 9ballgamer.
Yeah, I left it there. We got to have some 9-ball representation here. We got to have it. So, anyways, just below 9-ball gamer, who we're going to call Zex for the evening, is the one and only 3 Viking Wrecking Crew, Jimmy Bloxam, a.k.a. DJ Tyrant. Welcome back to the show, brother man.
Thanks for having me. I'm always, always love doing the show.
You're covering up that fighting hair, too.
Yeah, I gotta support my Dodgers. This could be the end of the season.
That's cool. Last but certainly not least is the brains behind the operation, the shot caller during part 2 of this rodeo. It is Mr. Bellrock Fan BP. Welcome back, brother.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
I'm super happy. I feel very good about Diablo this week, and that brings a certain light to my soul.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good, man. I'm excited for you. In a big way. So.
Oh, well, thank you.
Exactly.
I don't get that enough.
It's true. So, anyways, guys, just so you know, this show is the audio is available on iTunes. And the video is uploaded to the BlizzPro YouTube channel the day after we do this. So there's 2 portions. The first one, we talk about kind of the news and discussion about what's going on in Heroes of the Storm and, what we're doing and stuff like that. And the second portion is the gameplay portion where we go into the Nexus and we have a bunch of fun, and sometimes we get stomped and sometimes we do the stomping. So it just depends. It goes both ways, just like DJ Tyrant. So let us... Sorry, I walked right into that one and I just could not let it go, and I wasn't about to let it go.
It's all good.
So,
I don't
anyway.
let go either.
You know what? Here's the thing, and I've said this in the past. When it comes to DJ Tyrant, he's like the little brother. We pick on him, but don't you dare pick on him. Otherwise, you will feel the wrath of Mama. Mama being Eldorian.
Wait, are you Mama in this scenario?
Yeah, who's dad?
Who's Daddy?
I don't know.
Or do I have 4 dads?
I'm the dog, I think.
He's a dog.
Perhaps. I'm the one that goes down in the basement and craps on the floor. So.
With those spectacular eyebrows Charlie's rocking out right now,
yes.
I'd say he's dad.
Those
are some manly eyebrows.
They are, dude.
Sporting.
I don't think I've done anything to them since I was born, so they're just the way they are.
I love it.
I like thinking of you being born and you just those big old eyebrows.
Exactly.
Yes. I came out looking like this.
8 pounds 4 ounces and 1 pound 3 ounce was eyebrow. So
yes,
the rest was beard.
Oh
yes.
God, it's gonna be one of those.
It was a
nights,
very
guys.
painful birth.
Here's the thing. He was born at a very young age. Guys, this is going to be one of those shows where it's like we are going to be joking around quite a bit. We're all just in that funky mood. It's going to be a good time. Lots of laughs to be had by all. The stream is lagging. My give a crap level about that is just subpar right now. It really is. XSplit is freaking out. It's like drop frames are detected, and I'm just like, oh, behold all the craps that I don't give about that.
Behold the level of my care.
Yeah. No, it stopped. It stopped now. It's good. I know. I see Eldorian. He's kind of like, I could tell he had the butt clinch look on his face. Like, come on, Twiz. This is actually supposed to be semi-professional. So.
No, it was just we hit that threshold where Twitch changes over to source, and it messed
Wait.
up for like a couple seconds.
Oh, is that what it
Are we doing
is?
Tech Talk with Eldorian now? Because I thought
Oh.
Twiz hosted that show.
I do usually.
Mine will be boring because I'll give you right answers.
Yeah. There's no.
Yeah, I prefer the nonsense that Twiz just spits
Right.
out.
There is no sense in that whatsoever. We will not have accuracy on this show. I will not repeat myself. So, anyways, guys, let's talk about our week in gaming. Like, what in the holy snot have we been up to? Eldorian, why don't you start? Why don't you kick it off?
Oh, you've already talked about it earlier. I hit Legend in Hearthstone. I know this is a Heroes podcast, but man, that took me all week to do. So
Yeah.
that is all I played. I just sat and played Hearthstone. Finally hit Legend.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big deal to me because I've been trying for like a year and a half.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And congrats to you. And what's really going to be a challenge is playing Heroes of the Storm now that you've gouged your eyeballs out.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
You
You
yeah.
know, it's gonna be-
Next, I need to just go and start playing Heroes and see if I can hit rank 1 now.
There you go.
There you go.
That's a good goal.
That is a good
That
goal.
is a good goal.
Yep.
I actually carried one of our patrons to rank 1 this week.
Oh, yeah.
Purple Flame, yeah.
Put
Put him on my back. I'll get there.
Exactly. Put them on your eyebrows.
Purple.
Put them on your eyebrows and just carried them through.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. he grabbed onto the eyebrows and we just.
Have a fuzzy
Up the
little
rank.
seat up there, buddy. I'll take care of you from here. So, how about you, Zax? What's up in your world?
Been playing some heroes. Been trying to get a feel for the Chen since the changes, and some of them I like, some of them I'm still not real big fan of. Been learning some ETC. And learned the hard way. Nubarak just stuffs them hard. Could not get we hit 10 first, and Nubarak, they hit 10 later, and I took Mosh Pit and got cocoon wrapped every single time I tried to Mosh Pit. He stayed back and just waited for me.
Oh, yeah.
So, hard lesson learned on that one.
Yeah.
But, gotta expand the hero pool.
It's true. It is true. I've always said that. So, anyways, how about you, DJ Tyrant, sir?
I didn't get to play a whole lot of Heroes this last week, but what I did do was kind of screw around in quick match and just play more for fun and less Hero League, less stress.
Yeah.
Just messing around.
Very cool.
Not too much crazy.
I gotcha.
I feel like we could create a drinking game around the amount of times Jimmy has said I didn't play a lot of Heroes last week.
It's true.
Are you trying to kill us?
I mean, at least he played.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
I didn't
absolutely.
even do that, so he has me beat.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 shots for every time JR doesn't play, and 1 shot for when Jimmy didn't get to play a lot.
Yeah, we die.
Now I do know that that Balrog fan did in fact play some Heroes of the Storm. I know you did.
It's pretty much all I do.
Yeah.
I've been testing Diablo out quite a bit again lately since the recent changes, and I do feel he's strong enough to be back. He plays as a very strong bruiser, and I'm having a lot of fun with him. I still think Nazebo's strong. I like him a lot. Just provides everything he provides. So they just toned down the spider damage a little bit, which was something that needed to happen. Medic is... Guys, if the medic is on the other team, focus her. She's like easy to kill, so do that. Don't let her run roughshod on your team.
Yeah.
I see that the games I win when we're fighting against the medic, we focus the medic. The games we lose, we didn't focus the medic. So pretty simple meta right now. Everybody's all about her and trying different comps with her. So take dive, blow her up, and
Go to town.
Good times had by all. Yeah.
Go to town. Yep. Absolutely. I myself, I did play a little bit of Heroes of the Storm. I did play some Medic, just Lieutenant Morales. I need to get in the habit of calling her by her proper name. I did play Lieutenant Morales. And you know what? I mean, I like her. We're going to talk about a tweet that got released today. Wasn't it today that
Yes.
came out?
Yep.
Yeah. But you know what? I mean, it's one of those things. There's no AoE healing, obviously. There's no smart healing, like what the monk gives you. And I'm just a little I was a little shaky because it felt like I had no survivability. And that, again, will tie into the tweet that we're going to talk about in a little bit here.
And we found out after the show last week that if you hit D,
Yes.
cancels her healing thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you are queued onto somebody, I was having to alt queue myself, just or try and cast the queue ability onto myself to cancel it. But yeah, D just cancels it right out. So yeah, that's a pretty awesome pro tip. We learned that on Twitter, so pretty sweet. Let's see here. So you know what we've been talking about this infamous tweet that came out today. So you know what, DJ? Why don't you tell us what was that all about? What entered the Twitterverse? Which, speaking of Twitterverse, I did update Zex's name. He's not Nightball Gamer anymore.
Sweet.
Yay!
Well,
Yay.
basically, early this morning, Dustin Browder just out of nowhere sends out a tweet that says, "Medic win rate is a little low. Balance team thinking about a small health buff." So, I mean, that just means that Blizzard has seen some really low numbers, and and we kind of have access to a little bit of those numbers through Hotslog, and I think we're discussing today it's at 39%, which is
Currently, it's sitting at 41.1.
okay, but that's still pretty low.
And that's only for people who are running Hotslogs,
Yeah.
right?
Doesn't that place Morales at the lowest win rate in the game right now?
Yes, by a full percentage point.
Who's the second worst?
Abathur.
There's
That's
nothing
because
wrong
he's always
with that.
AFK.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's
Yeah.
right. And the third
Inactive.
worst is any tune that DJ Tyrant is playing.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
It's just like a
I
blanket.
was gonna play Tassadar today.
And my point has been proven yet again.
This
So.
is among all leagues, which is something that you should kind of take with a grain of salt. But, I mean, because the lowest besides Morales in Master League is 44%, and that's Stitches, and that's fair. But Morales in Master League is at 35.8% of a win percentage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Very low.
And you know what? You know it's going to be accurate numbers. Why? Because everybody's playing her right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
these are good, accurate numbers. There's a large player pool that they are pulling these numbers out of. So you know that these are good numbers, which is hilarious because everybody's like, oh my God, this, the medic is so OP. The medic is everywhere. Everybody's doing different team comps. She's so desired. You're sitting in queue forever if you solo queue as Lieutenant Morales because everybody else is playing her. But yet she's got such a low win rate. 1 and 1 is not equaling 2 here in my head. Am I crazy?
No, but
No.
I mean, like I was saying last week, she, just looking at her, just from the standpoint, looking at all the talent choices and everything, she is definitely one of the hardest heroes I think to learn outside of Lost Vikings. I feel
Right.
like she's gonna take more than the 2 weeks we've had her to really learn.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she's one of those, there's no cookie cutter build for her. Everything changes as soon as you see what your team comp is, as soon as you see what the other team comp is, and as soon as you see what the map is. Like, there are some heroes where it's like, this is pretty much a staple talent for every level, or I'm going to change it up a little bit here or there, but, she is the only one that it's like, oh my God, here I am, level 1, I'm going to go with this. I would like to go with this, but it's not going to work for this. So here we are, level 4 and level 7, etc., etc. And it's like, I don't have a talent tree that I've ever even played before, but I need to play it because of this team comp, or because I'm getting shut down, or because of whatever. So,
And I
really-
wanted to say, sorry, real quickly, just how significant this tweet is, because Dustin Browder hasn't normally just tweeted out about balance changes like this without being asked by someone else, and this being in response to someone else. This was just proactively telling the community, oh, we're seeing that her win rate's really low, so we're gonna look into changing it.
which I think
when
is
I saw
cool.
that tweet, it really surprised me to see that.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I think is a great, not necessarily change of pace, you know what I mean? But it's not something you see from other developer accounts where they're just like, hey guys, we're going to do this. This is something I'm seeing, and this is what we're going to fix. Usually the closest you get is a blue post about it. You know what I mean?
And a little more broad Blizzard kind of talking. We haven't seen this level of, I feel like, engagement with the community since Ghostcrawler was tweeting every day, basically.
Yeah.
Well, that's what makes Browder pretty cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
One place I'm finding Morales has a good spot in is in Protect the Hammer. I've seen comps run where Johanna's standing in front of Hammer, Hammer's in the middle, and and she's behind him, and it works really well on certain maps, especially Battlefield of Eternity and Dragonshire and Haunted Mines. It's very hard to overcome if you don't have a dive comp to get to the back of her, so look out for that to be a strategy that's effectively employed with centered around Lieutenant Morales, because Hammer's back now, but the whole Protect the Hammer thing got kind of lost in the shuffle, and there's better heroes now for diving on Hammer, so it's not as effective as it was, say, back in the alpha and early beta.
Sure.
But this gives her, she's really hard to take down. I saw a Hammer that nobody focused Morales, and Hammer took out a Butcher and an Anubrak by herself because Morales was just standing back there healing her and putting Stim Drone on her, and then they proceeded to wipe out the lane. So, all while Johanna was standing in front and disrupting. So, I think there's definitely something there for her, but her health pool is very low, and that's a big reason why she's dying so easily and losing so much.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what the tweet reflected, was that they are going to buff her health pool because of the low survivability. Because she's squishy.
Yeah. And just a quick side note on popularity and win percentage. Right now, Raynor is sitting at a 68% popularity among Master League players with a 58% win rate. That makes him the most popular hero with the second highest win rate. So if you're trying to figure out what kind of hero you want to play to be competitive, pick up Raynor. He's really good right now, especially in these a lot of double tank comps, and Giant Killer and his range and his abilities. He does a really good job against that. Also, Lily has jumped drastically. Less people have been able to deal with Lily, and teams aren't picking against her as much. So if you can snag Lily against a team that doesn't have stuns, she's going to do work.
Yep.
Raynor is also free to play this week, so I think he is every week.
Yeah.
Not every week, but he feels like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He should be your first purchase, though, honestly. If you're new to this game and you're looking for somebody to play, just pick Raynor. He's
Yep. He's got a low learning curve.
Fun and effective, too.
Yep. So, guys, in case you have been underneath of a rock and not paying attention to what's going on in the Blizzard universe, as it were, BlizzCon is in fact right around the corner, and we would not be doing this game justice if we didn't talk a little bit about what we are kind of hoping or expecting to see out of BlizzCon. And I would say that, guys, I've been with BlizzPro for how long, Eldorian? 3 years? 2 years? Ballpark?
How long has BlizzPro been around?
Yeah, I mean, I was there
since the beginning.
Yeah, I've been
2
there
years.
since the beginning.
So
Almost 2.5.
Okay, and here's one thing that I have learned is Eldorian's predictions are ridiculously close. I don't even know. I don't know who he's paying under the table or whatever. But every time he comes up with an idea and says, "I really think this is the direction they're going to go with it," there's a significantly awesome chance that it's going to happen.
I called Overwatch last year.
Yeah, he did. No, he physically picked up the phone and called them and was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And they were like, "Oh, nothing. We're just overwatching."
Yeah.
So, but no. So I'm curious to hear what you are thinking is going on for BlizzCon and Heroes of the Storm, Eldorian.
Oh my god. So this BlizzCon, if anybody's been to BlizzCon in the past, and you're at specifically BlizzCon 2010, the only thing that was announced at that BlizzCon was Demon Hunter for Diablo 3.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this BlizzCon's going to be on the same scale. Because if you look at all the games, and if you look at the schedule, you look at the map, WoW Legion's already been announced.
Mm-hmm.
StarCraft 2 is going to be coming out the week after. Overwatch, they're doing a whole beta hype coming up in 2 days. So we're going to learn more about Overwatch. Hearthstone will have new expansion, new features, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to Heroes of the Storm. It's going to be new heroes and some new battlegrounds and maybe some new features. I don't know. It's one of those things where this BlizzCon feels like it's going to be pretty disappointing from a major announcement thing.
Right.
We're going to get a lot of information about what's
currently
coming up in
going
the
on.
next 6 months.
Right.
I think I really optimistically, and I'm hoping that they'll give us the name of what the StarCraft event is going to be, and maybe we'll see a map and a hero or two.
Is
That's
there
like
going
the
to
best
be a
case
StarCraft
scenario.
event?
They've said that there will be a StarCraft event. It's just not coming soon. Like, it's not going to be this year, probably.
Yeah, they said not 2015. So
Right.
I would
But
imagine. I think that's the safe bet is to say they'll announce the StarCraft stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't they say the Diablo event was ending soon? No.
The Diablo event's over.
Yeah,
It's
it's
been
done.
Oh,
It's done.
As soon as they took the treasure goblins out, that was
I gotcha.
kaputs.
So yes, it is ending very soon, Zax.
Yes,
very soon.
It's any day now. Diablo's done.
Yeah.
Guys.
Ah.
It's over with. They're gonna nerf him back into the ground.
No, not stop. I just got a chance to play him again.
Do you hear that panic in his voice?
Yeah, I
It
did.
was genuine
my
despair. Everyone.
Here's what I'm thinking we're gonna see. My guess is we are going to see 2 maps that they're working on. 1 map that is a prototype. Both of those maps are going to be StarCraft related, by the way. And we are going to see 5 new heroes.
Bam.
I'm expecting 4.
Okay. I would 4 to 5.
I'll say 4.5.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see like from the
Because
bottom up.
if you think
Just
about
the
it, like,
legs.
4 heroes, that's 4 months worth of content that we know is coming up.
Yeah.
And that leads us right into PAX East, where they're going to announce more.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep. See, and this is why we pay him the big bucks, ladies and gentlemen. So
Yes. We
so
personally
that's-
pay Eldoran.
that's kind of what I'm thinking as well. I think that I mean, looking at the tentative schedule, I was expecting a Diablo expansion as well, but looking at the tentative schedule,
All of us were.
It's not
and
gonna-
Yeah, it's not happening.
it's not happening. So
I knew I was forgetting a game, and that's the reason why, because they just completely left it off the table. Like, it's not. You have 1 panel for Diablo, and you have no space on the floor for it, and no open space
yeah.
either. And that was a big tell last year of them announcing something new. Is there was a lot of space of nothing,
Yeah.
and people are like, "Oh, that's where people are going to eat lunch or something like that." And like, no, they're going to have a new game sitting
Yeah,
there.
and
idiots.
we walked in there. There's 700 computers sitting
Right.
there. We're like, yeah, they're announcing something like really big, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm guessing with as it pertains to Diablo, they're probably taking a victory lap because when that game came out, it met a lot of like disdain. Like everybody
the game was terrible.
everybody hated it, and now it's evolved into some just amazing game that most Diablo fans didn't expect. So I'm sure they're kind of just sitting on it a bit. Like, yeah, we did good.
Yeah, we did good. We'll take your money.
Yeah, we're gonna sit back.
I do think as far as like competitively, as far as announcements, they're going to announce the details of the next season of competitive heroes, and also I imagine they're going to talk a lot about the Grandmaster League.
Yeah.
Because they've been saying they're working on it and looking at it, and hopefully that'll be announced at BlizzCon, because I know a lot of people are looking forward to that.
And speaking of that, like, they might like touch base on what Blizzard's going to do with esports in the future, because now they have Heroes of the Storm, they have Hearthstone, they have the WoW Arena, they have StarCraft 2, and Overwatch will probably be hitting, the competitive scene at some point. They've got to have, they have the BlizzCon World Championships for each of these games. Basically, they've got to have some kind of centered. Now that they've created a big esports team there at Blizzard, and they're getting these new people in and building that team. Like, they're gonna have to, and they're partnering with Twitch, things like that. They probably have to have some kind of centralized plan now, rather than doing it game by game.
Yeah.
It might have some.
This doesn't pertain necessarily to Heroes, but the whole Xbox streaming
I was
event.
say that, Jimmy.
Okay, sorry, I stole his thunder.
It's all right.
But yeah.
Steal away, sir.
But yeah, Xbox announced that they're going to be broadcasting the BlizzCon
Opening
event. Open ceremonies, at least,
For
I
free.
think.
The opening
on
ceremonies will be
Xbox.
free, and they said more details to come. I imagine they're going to say, hey, the opening ceremony's free, and you can buy a BlizzCon ticket to watch it on your Xbox.
Well, the opening ceremonies are free anyway. You can watch it on Twitch or
Right.
on
But you
stream,
couldn't
like
watch
that.
it on Xbox before, so and then
Right.
for them to say that it's going to be free on Xbox, I imagine
But the
they're
fact
going to
that
be like, you can buy.
Xbox and Microsoft is there, is weird.
That's a tell for something.
Yeah, it's got to be bigger than that. It's got to be like is Overwatch coming to Xbox
That's
One?
exactly where I was going with it.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
one of the first things I said last BlizzCon, or whenever it was. I forget what show I was doing. I don't know if I was doing TwizCast then or not. But I said, somehow, some way, somewhere on the airwaves, I said, I will get behind Overwatch when it has an Xbox logo on it or a PS4 logo on it or whatever. Like, I can do that. And that FPS needs to come to that platform. It does.
I'll be interested to see, though, because as far as I understand, Overwatch was going to be free to download?
There is no plan. There's been no plans that have been made publicly available on how the business model is going to work with Overwatch yet.
Oh, okay, so that was just my mistake.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't free to play.
I would be surprised if it wasn't either, but
But that would mean it
They
would
have
be
not
free
come
on
out and said either
Xbox
way.
if it was
They're-
going to
they're-
Xbox?
Yeah, there's free to play games on Xbox.
Well, of course, but it would just be surprising for a game that big. Like, typically games that are free to play on Xbox are either, hey, you've got a limited time to download it because you're a gold member, or it's just this random one-off game that nobody really plays. But something like Overwatch would be probably one of the biggest free-to-play games ever released on a console.
Yeah.
Just saying.
maybe. I'm trying to think of some big ones. I don't play console games that much anymore.
I think
World
I
of
think
Tanks?
Think of World of Tanks and
Warframe
Planet
is
Side?
probably really big.
Warframe's okay.
Is Warframe big? I didn't know that.
It's surprisingly large.
It
Yeah.
seems so free to play or pay to winny that it was hard for me to get behind. But I guess I could see it. Happy Wars was kind of big. I don't know.
That was awesome. Not as awesome as my ping, though.
Your ping is perfect.
It is
It's so perfect.
It is really
Hashtag perfect ping.
Hashtag perfect ping. Yep.
So, in the terms of the Heroes of the Storm at BlizzCon, Eldorian made a prediction of they're probably going to announce 4 heroes, which takes us through the month. So, going up to the cycle of StarCraft, we've had Morales, we have Artanis.
Yep.
Do we think there's going to be another StarCraft hero?
I think there's going to be Tosh.
I'd like to see Dahaka personally.
God bless you.
Thank you.
I'd say it won't be. I think they're going to throw a Warcraft hero and a Diablo hero in between. Then we'll get the StarCraft event, and we'll probably get 3 more
But who from
StarCraft heroes.
But who from Diablo? Who's left?
Oh, they could do anything.
Necromancer.
Necromancer, Monk,
We're reaching back. Okay.
Druid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they really haven't touched like Diablo 1 or 2, I feel like.
No,
Yeah.
they really haven't.
Hmm.
I mean,
Deckard Cain has been talked about as being in the works too.
but
Yeah.
that's
It
that's
just feels
an
like such a
interesting one.
weird character to put it into a MOBA.
Yeah. How is he gonna? I mean, what is his mount gonna be? A walker?
I have no idea, but they managed to put Abathur in this game, so anything is
That is
possible.
true.
Yeah.
That's another. That reminds me.
They
of
like
another
being
thing
innovative and weird. Go
Another
ahead.
thing I think they might be announcing is a fifth role, or separating out the specialist a little bit better.
One of Kane's skills could be he identifies the cooldowns of your of enemies. That could be I don't know what that would be.
No,
but
he
that
just sits at the core and writes about the entire battle. Is all
yeah,
he does.
exactly.
He just starts blogging. You have to.
He
type
starts
a lot when
blogging,
you pick
yeah.
Deckard Cain.
Yep.
God.
Yep, DeckardCain.wordpress.com. Yeah. So, anyhow, well, guys, we'll be very anxious. BlizzCon's right around the corner, and we are all amped over it. If you have
And
any
if you're
predictions,
going, a lot of us will be there.
that's true. Except me, I won't be there.
Yeah. Except for
I'll be there.
Twiz.
My first
be there.
BlizzCon.
It's gonna be pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. So, yeah, you know what? We will see. We will be playing that as it comes along. So, again, guys, a little bit slow in the news this week. So we've got a couple of builds we're going to share with you guys. Now, if you head on over to heroesofthestorm.blizzpro.com, you can feast your eyes on numerous builds and numerous things going on as far as how to help you play a hero more effectively. And one of the builds that we started off with, and I have just recently fallen in love with Sonya, so I'm very anxious to talk about the build that we have for her. You put this build together, right, Balrog?
Yes, I did.
Awesome, man. So let's break Sonya down. Let's talk about her. Let's talk about a good solid build you can go with for Sonya.
Well, first off, talking about popularity and win percentage in Master League, she is the third. She not popularity. She's at a 50%, which is pretty high, and her win percentage is at 57.4. She's just a very solid hero that works in a lot of comps right now. So knowing how to play her is going to be helpful if you're trying to be competitive right now. Her trait basically, it's Fury. It's instead of mana, she has Fury, and also one underlooked part of her trait is using a basic or hero ability grants 10% movement speed for 4 seconds. So every time you're using those abilities, you get extra movement speed. So I think that's just something that people are unaware of. It's just like something that happens for newer players, and they don't really know that it's happening. They're just like, oh, I'm moving a little quicker. Mm-hmm. You got to keep that in mind. Like, you can whirlwind to escape. Like, you're going to create more distance if you whirlwind than you are to just walking away. And you have Fury, not mana, so it doesn't matter if you burn your Fury. You can always go back and get more Fury, because every time you take damage or deal damage, you get Fury. And Ancient Spear, her Q, also gives you Fury when it hits a target. So she's really versatile with that movement speed. I think it's a big boon to her that people don't really keep in mind. That's the one thing I wanted to stress about her abilities, because it's very important.
Absolutely.
The build at level 1, I really like Warpaint. Basic attacks heal you for 30% of the damage. You have to do basic attacks with Sonya. It's going to come up. You're not always going to have Fury to use your abilities. You want to mix in basic attacks because of the level 4 pick. So it's kind of a no-brainer to me. There aren't really many other options here. You could take block at this level, but I really would only recommend that if you're going against a heavy auto attack team. Like, if they've got Vala and Raynor, and they're both going Giant Killer and they're both going to be building auto attack, or you at least suspect it, maybe take block there or something where, they're going to just try to blow you up immediately when you get into fights, and you don't want to deal with that, especially if there's someone like a Brightwing around or something. She's rare, but it could happen. They could hate pick against you, so block's really the only other option, but for the most part, I'd go Warpaint.
Yep.
Just for the sustain.
Agreed.
Level 4 focused attack, there is no other pick here. I mean, every 10 seconds, you get 75% additional damage on your basic attacks, which now, because of your level 1 pick, heal you for 30% of the damage dealt. Mm-hmm. And that refreshes every 10 seconds, and basic cooldowns reduce that 10-second refresh by 1 second. So it's just kind of, it's the perfect synergy of a level 1.
It's a win more talent pick.
Definitely, yeah, and it's necessary towards their core build. Mm-hmm. Ferocious Healing at level 7 is what I like to pick, just because you can use it while whirlwinding, and I forgo the what's it called off the top of my head, Nerves of Steel on 16. I don't take Nerves of Steel on 16, so I really need Ferocious Healing. Some people like to take Follow Through or Poison Spear here, and those are decent choices, and you might want them depending on your needs within the game. If your team needs extra damage and you're all set on sustain, like you got a healer who's just killing it and keeping you up no matter what, then you might not need Ferocious Healing, and you would rather go with Follow Through or Poison Spear, depending on how you're playing her. If you rely more on your initiation through your Q, you're probably going to go Poison Spear. If you're great at using your auto attacks and you want to build off your level 1 and 4 talent picks, take Follow Through. I take Follow Through personally, but Ferocious Healing is the pick here, I feel. It just gives her that little bit of extra sustain that she's going to need now and again.
Yep.
Wrath of the Berserker for her ultimate. Guys, this is a slept-on talent. Well, not really anymore. It used to be a slept-on talent. Now everybody's kind of come around to it, but I mean, I'm just going to read what I wrote here because I feel like this sums it up perfectly. A 40% damage increase, check. A low cooldown on a heroic at 45 seconds, check. A long 15-second duration that can be extended for such a large steroid to your damage, check. A 50% reduction in all CC while it's active, including polymorph, check. I mean, that's
yeah.
All those things are that's so much for an ultimate that lasts 15 seconds, and you can even extend it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you're pushing, a lane with it, like I remember in Tomb of the Spider Queen, we got behind. Well, we were behind in the game a little bit, and we came back and we just pushed out a top lane, and in order to help make that push, I popped Wrath of the Berserker, and it was off cooldown and still going.
Yeah. The worst thing about Wrath of Berserker is how much she talks during it. Other than that, it's the perfect ultimate.
Yeah.
She gives a whole soliloquy about being a
good use
barbarian.
of the word soliloquy. Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I butchered it, but I tried.
Yeah, it's kind of like Wrath of the Ex-Girlfriend.
No,
She just won't shut up while she's
never
beating
take
the
out
crap
the trash,
out of you.
and then I come with you. Okay.
Yeah.
sorry, it's the barbarian, not the
yeah.
butcher. Come on.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Here we go. Back on track. Level 13. Mystical Spear. I don't think there's much of another choice here, just because you're going to use your Q to generate your Fury, and the main part about this is the 4-second reduction. And it's also nice to be pulled to the target location if you, because you're going to whiff spears, and you're going to get used to being able to move because of your spear. So when you whiff it and you don't move and you're standing where you were, it's kind of a pain. And it also turns your spear into an escape tool if you need it.
Absolutely.
Because like I said, you get that extra movement speed.
Yep. And if you're getting chased down, that puts more distance between you and the guy who's trying to chase you down. And on top of that, this builds off of your ferocious healing.
Yep.
It kind of gives you ferocious healing. You pop that, you got a little bit of health. You chuck out your spear, and you got some distance, and you just got out of a death, basically.
Definitely. And then your trait gave you that 10% extra movement for using. So it all just kind of builds up.
Gels together.
Yep. And like I said, worst case scenario, you miss the hook, but you're still in their face when you're trying to initiate. So
yeah.
Level 16, no escape. Okay, most people take Nerves of Steel here. I don't agree. I think Nerves of Steel is overkill at level 16, because you know what you're taking at level 20. Mm-hmm. And Nerves of Steel is just a shield. It's a good shield. It's good it's great because you can use it while you're whirlwinding. But other than that, it doesn't do much for her overall game. I just think it's overkill on the sustain. Now, no escape, what that does, the trait that gives you 10% movement speed bonus from using basic and heroic jumps to 25. That's a 15% increase on your just movement speed. You watching her whirlwind while you have no escape is just ridiculous. She's moving around so quickly.
Yeah.
Just her general speed throughout. Her general speed increase from this is it's amazing. Yeah. I can't argue for it enough.
And there's one word in here that is very, very key in No Escape. And I will read this. I will read No Escape, the talent at level 16. Increases the movement speed bonus from using basic and heroic abilities to 25%, not by 25%. So you're not getting a 35% movement speed. You are just getting a 15% addition. So,
yep.
Some people, you scan it. You read it really quickly. You scan it. You don't really process what's going on. It's like, okay, I've got 35%, and then I get into an argument on Twitter with somebody, and then they prove me wrong because I didn't read the tooltip, and then I go home and kick my dog. And anyways, we're back now.
No, I mean, just when you're picking a level 16 talent, it's a very important talent pick. You're picking the talent that you're going to be taking into the late game to try and get to level 20 before your opponent, or you're trying to catch up. What that means is it has to be a good, solid pick that affects the game in a meaningful way. A shield every 60 seconds, not as meaningful, especially when most tanks have access to something like Stone Skin and they use it to cover their weakness, which is usually self-sustain. Sonya doesn't have that problem. Self-sustain is what she's all about. So giving her more movement speed is much more beneficial. Mm-hmm. And especially level 20, you take Ignore Pain. It's a flat damage reduction of 75% that you can use while you're whirlwinding. You can engage with the spear, start your whirlwind, watch the enemy team start to target you, pop Ignore Pain, and basically the goal is to make your opponent waste their heroics, waste their abilities, get them on cooldown so your team can just follow in right after you and take advantage of that, because they're not going to do enough damage to you while you're whirlwinding with Ignore Pain on. You're going to out-sustain that easy, especially with Ferocious Healing.
Yep.
I mean, they have to really stun you out and wombo combo you if they want to take care of you, and you'll be able to read the situation well enough to know when you should and when you shouldn't be using it. But for the most part, Ignore Pain just flat out wins games, because if the team wastes their heroics on you and you live through it and your team has all of their heroics, odds are you're going to win that engage. And when you win engages at 20, it's usually the game.
Yep.
That the only thing I can stress about Sonya for strategy is she is tough in the early game. Don't feed with her because it puts your team behind, and she really gets her power spike at 10. So just play it safe early and don't put your team behind the gun and stay even, and then snowball her strength at 10 and start to really push and engage the enemy team, forcing them to fight with you.
Agreed. Could not agree more. So I'm just going real quick for those of you watching this. I'm just going through her skins so you can see her. So, anyways, and you know what? We're doing double the pleasure, double the fun, double the bonus of the fact that there's no news. We're gonna give you another hero breakdown as well. So who do we have in the pipe this as number 2 there, Mr. Balrog?
Oh, well, actually, Zex wrote this guide, so I thought maybe he would go through it.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I asked him to do that, so he's prepped for this. He's ready. Muradin, yeah.
Make it rain, dude.
All right, so Muradin, frontliner, loves to be in people's faces. Really comes online at 10 with his avatar. And I'm going to take you through an updated build of what talents you should pick and give you a little strategy behind it. Cool. So, level 1. Reverberation. This skill is wonderful. It reduces an enemy attack speed by 50%. That really stuffs right clickers pretty well, like Vala and Rainer and people like that. It slows them down, and Hammer when you can get close to her. And you know, slower attack speed means less damage.
Absolutely.
So it helps the team out in every way.
Yep.
Level 4, we're taking Thunderburn. What this does, it adds a second strike to your Thunderclap. So this is great for people you can lock down, or it's also great for zoning and wave clear to some extent. So, and that second clap does apply the slow and the extra damage from the first clap. So, you know, it's great. Well, if a team fight has gone wrong, it's great to throw that down. Sometimes you'll unmount somebody. Sometimes you'll get a slow, and you guys will be able to get out of there, or you get that extra damage from a good lockdown.
Yep. Thunderburn is also a byproduct of Taco Tuesday. Just letting you know.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
That second pulse that just kills you. So
Qdoba.
Level 7, we're taking Piercing Bolt. Now this one is a really good skill because your Storm Bolt now goes through the first target and will hit an additional target. This is great for narrow corridors like on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Also, there's a lot of setup for it on like Dragonshire where people are just running at you through like narrow areas. Because getting 2 stuns on people is just better than 1.
Yeah.
I mean,
I always went with Battle Momentum.
Battle Momentum is also in great use, but a lot of his skills are on such short cooldowns that like I've never seen that much point to it. But it does get picked a lot.
Okay.
So level 10 Avatar, that health is too good. The mini stuns are too good. On your right clicks, they're too good. There's no reason not to take it. There's some like I've seen some people do some really clowny stuff with Balstead and Muradin. Specifically, Haymaker one of them in and Mighty Gust the rest back, but that's pretty gimmicky and it doesn't have a real good win rate.
Yeah, good sustain to it. Now, Avatar is also one of those, for those of you who have not played very much Muradin, Avatar is one of those heroics that you go into a team fight with it popped. I've seen so many Muradins that are like, oh my god, I'm almost dead. I'm going to pop Avatar. Now, guess what? I'm dead, and my ult's on cooldown.
Exactly. You always want to start a team fight with it. There's no reason not to. That you stuff a lot of abilities with that mini stun. You stuff a lot of ultimates with it. Just punching Lily in the face shuts down the Jugs ultimate.
Yep.
So 13, there's a lot of variation to this depending on the situation. I personally like Burning Rage just because Muradin can stay in a fight for a very long time, and Burning Rage brings honestly a lot of damage to the table with the amount of sustain Muradin has by himself. And especially as the game goes on, Muradin just gets more and more sustain, and he's almost impossible to move if you're like fighting on a point or something, a merc camp. So
I think Thunderstrike is an option here, by the way, just throwing this in, because
is.
if the enemy team isn't always grouped together. Like if they're a team that spreads out a bit or relies on positioning, Thunderstrike can really allow some heavy damage on a single
yeah, the 300% damage is nothing to sneeze at.
Yes.
So like, to me, it seems across the board. Level 13 is a really wide open area for which skill. It's the most situational talent level there is.
I've used Thunderstrike when I've been trying to chase somebody down. You dwarf toss right into them, and then that Thunderstrike just melts. It just does.
It does.
Yep.
Level 16, Stone Form. Popping that gives you a wonderful amount of sustain. It heals 50% of your max HP over 8 seconds. Combine that with the extra avatar boost, that's a huge amount of health you're getting back.
Yes.
It also kind of justifies why I take Burning Rage so often, because you're staying up for a very long time with that. It's really hard to bring him down once he pops that. You've got to throw everything at him. And then level 20, Hardened Shield.
One thing I want to throw in about Stormform too, if you use Stormform near the end of Avatar, you actually get more out of it. Like, let's say you're at half health when you Avatar, and you got 2 seconds left on the duration. If you hit Stormform, you're going to heal for 50% of your health pool while you're in Avatar. So you might leave your Avatar form and end up way higher health as regular Muradin than you would have if you popped Stormform when you got out of Avatar.
That is true. So, okay, and then level 20, Hardened Shield. There's some builds that will go Rewind, but I like Hardened Shield like towards the end just because it makes them that much more tanky.
Yep.
You can just straight up charge into fights at that point, and they're not going to do a whole lot of damage to you, honestly.
Yeah.
You are going to just soak all of the damage up.
Yeah. Unless they lock you down. If you waltz yourself into a maw or something like that, or a mosh pit, there's counters to everything. But if it is strictly a burst comp or something like that, well, good luck to them. So
sometimes at 16 I'll forgo stone form and go with heavy impact, just because if they've got those channeling ults, it's good to get those down as quickly as possible. Nobody wants to fight into a Nazebo Ravaging Spirit or no one wants to take an additional shot from a stupid Nova trying to triple tap you.
Yep.
Oh man.
16 has a lot of good options. Dwarf Launch increases the radius of Dwarf Toss by 50%. Heavy Impact, like you said, in Stone Form. I mean, all of those very situational, very map and team comp dependent, but all three very good picks.
Yeah. There's a lot of builds that actually go Imposing Presence, too, just for that additional attack slow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Especially if you're getting focused.
Mm-hmm. If they're burning you down real quick, Imposing Presence can be a way to go. It'll slow down giant killers. It'll slow down Falstad. It'll slow down a Rainer. It'll slow down a Vala.
Hammer, even.
Yeah, even Hammer.
True that.
Nobody likes Hammer. Everybody hates Hammer.
Beat Hammer with hammers. Pick Muradin.
Even Hammer hates Hammer.
That's true. Yeah. She's a self-loathing tank.
So, well, cool, guys. I hope that allows you guys to jump into the Nexus a little bit, and hats off to Zex. If you guys want to check out the article that Zex really went into a pretty good detail about how this all works. We skimmed over and gave you enough to hit the ground running, but if you really want a better look at Muradin, definitely head over to heroesofthestorm.blizzpro.com. Check out these articles that these guys are putting together. We're not peddling garbage here, kids. All right, these guys are putting out stuff that's like It's like legit. It's thought out and it's accurate and it's with the current meta and everything like that. So if you don't have that bookmarked, then you're doing something wrong. So
I'm glad to have Zex on board too to help us really pump out the build articles and keep current.
Agreed.
So Jimmy, are you amped up right now?
Jimmy,
I'm very amped up right now. Oh, yep. Yes. Sorry.
is there baseball happening?
Yeah.
His
Well,
Dodgers.
it just finished. So
okay.
What happened with the
Sports
Dodgers?
ball.
we won.
Oh, congratulations on your
right.
Dodgers.
All right.
You can have a Dodger dog.
Thank you for winning.
And
The
that's
Cubs
all I
get
know
an
about the Dodgers.
Thank you for winning. The Cubs
get
get an
another
extra
night
rest
off.
day.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
They do. They do. So,
So thanks for tuning into the baseball power hour.
absolutely. The
Guys,
Chicago
remember
Power
the
Hour.
Tigers?
No, we don't.
You know what, guys? Last week I griped about it enough, and we did get another. We got a 5-star review on iTunes, and that really helps us out, guys. The audio for this is available on iTunes. If you like what we're doing, if you like
Thanks,
the laughs that you're getting, you know, it's absolutely huge. This week's review is from Shadow E Vapor. Who says, great show as usual. I expect nothing but the best from BlizzPro, and you guys definitely hit the mark. Informative, and it's obvious you all don't get along one bit. Keep up the good work. Totally worth a listen just for the funnies. So thank you very much, sir. That's huge. It's 5-star reviews, guys. When people type in Heroes of the Storm, it helps push us closer to the top, so other people can find us. So if you're downloading this and you're liking what you're hearing, scratch our back just a little bit and head on over to iTunes.
And he's right.
surprised
I hate all you guys.
Yeah, I'm surprised how easily
Right.
he picked up on the mutual hatred we all share for one
Yeah,
another.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
We actually kicked Nineball off the show. We hated him so much.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's true. But we kept his name because we thought that was kind of cool.
yeah.
So
Yeah, he's got a
Yeah, his
great
name's
name.
does he really
Yeah.
does. So
Perfect
anyways,
ping
well,
and a great name.
we are going to dive into part 2 of this show, guys, and that is where we go into the Nexus and we just have a good time and we play some games and we just try and make it rain. So those of you in the chat room, stick around for that. And if you're listening to this on the download, head on over to the BlizzPro YouTube channel and you can see this as well. So anything for you guys? Anything you want to say before we go into part 2?
No.
I like crackers.
Yes.
I
crackers.
like turtles.
I like turtles.
Sometimes I eat Cookie Crisp.
Yeah, don't
There's
ask
no-
that question again, Twiz.
Yeah, Twiz.
Well, when I ask that question, it's because I'm trying to buy myself a little bit of time to queue up the music.
Oh,
So-
Twiz.
I'm
I'm helping you buy time to queue up the music.
Okay,
by
very
speaking
good.
with these words right now.
Thank you very much for that. And with
No
that,
problem, buddy.
guys, we will catch you next week. Big old bong hit from Charlie. Sweet.
That was